Dog attack! Dog attack!
Ignore it. Ignore it, maybe it'll go away. We got 2 more coats for you guys.
Yeah. Here's one. Hope you can see that.
Oh, you're breathing heavily.
Can you?
You don't want to do what we do during our breaks. Anyways.
Why do you have to put so much innuendo into everything we do, man? You're always the one giving me shit for making this a family channel, and then you're like, don't get so heavy breath from the things we do off camera.
It's called push-ups.
No.
And I'm playing with dogs apparently. But also, welcome back to another mini rant. We got ourselves fresh drinks. And go Master Fija.
Man, why do you have to put me on the spot?
Fine.
I literally said, let's take a break so we can think of something to talk about while we're giving people free stuff. And then you're like, better put some drinks on the camera and then start this.
You know what? I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead, man. What's on your mind? What are you thinking about for Force of Will?
I can't slip like you do. You've had more practice.
No, it's because I got a can. It's easier to do it. Also, screw you.
Oh, okay, now who's making it into it?
Yeah.
Anyways, what are we gonna talk about in this video? I have absolutely no idea. Oh, right, building the community.
Okay.
It's happening, guys. We're back.
No, you don't need to do an intro to this. This is just another part of the video we already started.
That's true. What I mean is we actually thought about something to say.
Okay.
This is why we don't do this live stream. Master Fija's like, I think he's frozen in time.
My mind is buffering. You know, like the little circle and like the old dial-up sound, like. That's what was going through my mind.
Do you want me to remind you of that? Yeah,
promos. That's what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And I will actually completely give you the floor because you had a very good point.
Okay, so the holiday promos, I think they could have done a little bit more. It just seems.
Whoa, don't be that nice. They didn't do anything.
They did do something.
Okay, just
it's
because
not that they didn't do anything, they did do something. The art, I love the art, but it's just not very holiday themed, with the exception of the Night Shinder Blade, which kind of has a hat on it.
Does it have a hat on it?
I thought I did.
I don't know. I didn't actually grab that one as a promo.
I think I did.
Do you have it?
You want to talk for a second while I grab it?
Sure.
But the Corpse Sorcerer or whatever did not actually have anything to do with like holidays.
Well, he's just fat. They just made him fat for some reason.
They just made him fat and just made him a thing.
Just made him a. Oh,
Sorry.
Jesus.
Oh, it doesn't have a hat. It just has.
It doesn't have a hat.
It has a bow that kind of reminds me of a hat. But there's the Night Shinder Blade promo.
This doesn't have anything to do with.
The bow.
Oh, they got like little bells. Oh, jeez,
yeah.
they got bells on the Erendite.
I understand that it's subtle. I understand that it's whatever. But I feel like they could have done more this year, like with other past promos in the past year.
But were those ones supposed to be for December or were those for November?
I thought they were supposed to be December because they said December on them. Like some of the old ones literally rolled across December.
See, this is the problem with us getting all of our promos at once, Force of Will distributors. Okay? Like
Facebook guy!
Goddamn Facebook guy. Now you're getting me to hate him too when I was defending him up till now. Yeah, we got like 3 months worth of promos all at once at our shop. So like everybody was like totally flexing their awesome promos and their decks online, and we're like, I wish I had a new Erendite.
You know where the problem with that came in as well, and I'm gonna be ranting on Facebook guy as well, is our local game shop got in touch with Facebook guy. With Facebook guy through Messenger, and it said, here's our shop. We confirm we are a game shop. And he said, yes, well, I'll send you promos. What's your address? Send them the address of the game shop. But apparently they showed up at the owner's house instead of the freaking game shop. I don't know how.
Huh.
Must have sent them multiple addresses to confirm who he is, or must have sent them a picture of his driver's license to confirm he's actually a real person. In which case, Facebook must probably lost the old, here's the game shop address, and was like, oh, I have my driver's license, I'll send them there.
Yeah. It's okay. That story sounds stupidly made up, but I'm gonna believe you. I didn't actually talk to anybody to confirm this. But yeah, they definitely could have done a little bit more festive of a job. I'm not even gonna bother confirming. I'm just gonna fake news it. Yeah, this is the December promo. This one in the Corpse Harvester or whatever.
I thought it was December. I could be wrong. Like Nova doesn't really know very much about this game, so
stop talking about yourself in the third person. You're not that important. I get to do that. Master Fija gets to do that. It's either this one or the Forbidden Arts, which is the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think those ones. I think those ones were November.
I want to say those ones were November. I could be wrong.
Did they even have a holiday or a holiday for Halloween promo this year?
No.
What the hell? This was actually just a really bad promo year.
It just seems like they've with the fact that they were been talking about changing to the dual power system since the app went down like mid-October. I want to say when it first went down. They haven't they were super hush about it. Until finally realizing it and finally saying that, everything is going to end on the 31st. And this was confirmed from Jeff, but if I'm incorrect and I'm misreading, I misread. I've read so many comments on Facebook that
and that's another thing.
It's jumbled in my head.
There's no definitive source of information for this.
I think this is what I read from Jeff, and correct me if you guys have read something else. The way it works right now is for this. It's going to be August to the end of December 31st. That's where we're giving you guys all these promos. You guys redeemed them.
Not promos, codes.
Codes, whatever. I've had too much liquid black.
Liquid black.
Cool. I've been a naughty boy this year. But anyways.
Oh my god. Why are you so weird, man? You're so weird.
What? Because Santa. Do you not believe in Santa anymore?
Because Santa. That's why I am strange. Let's talk about what would you have liked to see for the promos? For the promos for the Will Power Awards.
For anything, what? It's something as simple as, let's say this car was a regular car, regular Brunhilde. Put a freaking festive costume on her or something.
Okay, but you're talking about specifically about holiday ones. I'm just talking about in general.
Oh, in general?
What cards would you have liked to see promos, or what would you have liked to see them done, or what would you have liked to see for the Ultra promos, these guys?
One of my favorite cards, which I think a lot of people like, is the Oborozuki, aka is the Hobozuki.
Oh my god, Oborozuki with a little Christmas hat would have been awesome.
What I would like to see brought in the future, but it's probably not.
Okay, I'm gonna totally interrupt you. I just had a really funny idea. So you do Oborozuki as like Santa Claus, and then you release her.
No, Santa's elf.
Okay, you do her as Santa's elf, and then do her life-severing blade as her with a candy cane.
That would be amazing.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh my god!
And then the two cars could how there's
she's swinging a sword off the edge of her resonator.
Exactly.
And then the actual chant is her holding the candy cane.
The card. Exactly.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Dual art card.
Okay, that was a good idea. I will give stupidly good high points towards Force of Will for doing that.
Okay, if they do promos in the future, for the promos in the future, pick two cards that synergize really well together and do something like that where it's a full art that carries forward. Because that'd be kind of cool. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. It doesn't have to happen. The promos so far are pretty cool with the exception of the holiday ones are questionable, but they're still cool. I still like the art. I'm not gonna that's the one thing I think so many players agree about this game is that you can never really drag on the art with a very few selection cards that you're kind of eh.
Okay, I think that a lot of people are super excited about the alternate art promos for the new rulers for this new set, and I think that one of the best things that they did with this is the fact that they released it at the beginning of this block.
Yeah.
Because for all the people who got it, they're actually cards that are useful going forward. Yeah. Right? One of the things that sucks about using promos of old rulers is that right when you're getting them, you pretty much have one block to play them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Whereas they released these guys at the beginning of this block, which means that we've got 2 years to play with these promos.
Which is fantastic.
Which is phenomenal. Again, I don't want you guys
You're on the right track. You're
doing things right, FoWco.
Yeah.
You're doing things right. We just need more. We need you to do things more, betterer. Okay?
So in other words, you've kind of given us a little bit of... Okay, this is just an analogy. You've kind of given us a little bit of hint of cocaine. You just got to spread it out there.
We need this.
You got to spread it out there.
You gave us this. We need that.
Yeah.
Okay? These have all been scanned. Don't be going crazy like, these are old. This is just Nova's holding on to these.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to hear my pitch? I was gonna do a whole separate video on this.
Okay, before I forget, do your pitch. But before I forget, one of the cards I would really love to have back in this game, just because I never got to play it, was Vladimir Dracula.
Yes.
I would love to see him back.
I think that I wouldn't even really count against him showing up, or if they do a female version, her showing up again as a card in Valhalla.
I would love
because I think Vlad was in the original ones. I think Vlad was originally in Valhalla.
I would really love it. Like, personally as a ruler, but if it's a card, I'll be more than happy with. Preferably dark, please. Like, I know what happened.
Oh yeah, no, they're not going to release Vlad as... Okay. We'll continue the idea of promos in a sec.
Okay.
Do you think that they're going to release a multicolored set?
I really hope so.
Because if I remember correctly...
I really hope so. That's been one of my biggest gripes so far, is because just starting to play this block, I don't have a lot of cards. I know you guys have like stones and stuff that there's not as many, but you still have some.
Multicolored stones. Not multicolored stones. Multicolored cards.
I would love to see that, but they need to figure out a way to do it.
To make it possible, yeah, because just using basic stones, and they're kind of like not super
I
good.
have seen GP, I don't know how well they've worked, but I have seen decks, pre-built decks, for example, like Brunhild, Darkness, Light. But the way they're running them is like 4 light stones and then every 6 darkness stones.
Yeah. It's just too slow, man. It's too slow and too unreliable.
Slow. Okay, if you make that into some form of, not a Wanderer, but some form of different GP, that'd be cool. Like, turn it into its own separate entity. But,
yeah, they could do like a modern if they wanted to.
But I would really like to see, like, the thing I really want to build right now is like a Darkness Light Brunhild. Like, I would love to try that.
I've already come up with a kind of like a rough idea for the deck build, so if you need help, just give me a heads up.
Like, that's something I would really love to try to build. However, it's just too slow right now. And you do rely on too many things. Like, this kind of goes off into another idea. Is like, currently right now, you can only play rune cards that belong to a specific ruler. Like
the color identity. Yeah.
Color identity, right? You have to play a chant rune if you want to use a different color, like stone, like rune. So that'd be kind of cool. Like, I would love to be able to see like maybe a Loki or a Brunhild being able to run like darkness runes. But then again, I understand why they did it, because you'd have people run nothing but darkness runes because they're really good, or the green rune.
Yes.
Like that freaking.
But here's where they've got an opportunity of doing that without actually having to go back and retcon any previously established rules, right?
Yep.
Make dual color runes.
That'd be cool.
Right? Make like a blue-black that would synergize with the idea of destruction or jumping stuff back up.
Or reprinting old runes for dual colors would be an idea, but maybe tweaking them a little bit. And being having the inspiration, for example, like, let's say I take a green, and let's say I take a black rune card, and I tweak the idea and combine them together to have a less powerful version of the 2 cards.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So dual colors would be something phenomenal. And I'm kind of discouraged that there haven't been any like sneak peeks, any spoilers for this, so I don't think it's gonna happen in this set.
Yep.
But if I remember thinking back to Lapis and Rhea cluster, it's usually the 2 center sets of the 4 block format that have dual colors, right? Like, I think for the most part, it was single colors for Curse of the Frozen Casket, which was the first set of Lapis cluster.
Yeah.
Then the Legacy Lost was all dual colors.
Mm-hmm.
Then Return of the Dragon Emperor was all dual colors, and then when they got to whatever the last one was, I can't remember the name of the last set, but when they got to that one, they still had a couple of dual colors, but it was mostly back to single colors. And I think they did something similar with Rhea as well. They definitely had dual colors. They had dual colors like crazy in the last set in Winds of the Honest Moon. What's up?
Holy.
Yeah, I got a new phone. What's up?
Damn!
Yeah, dude. Yeah, wow. What up? Merry Christmas. What up, girl?
You can finally record video.
Yeah, so it's like 64 gigs, so I can literally just like, boom, what up? Yo, how big is your phone? What do you put on your phone?
256.
Did you say 256 gigs?
Yes.
You monster! That's insane. We can literally walk away, come back tomorrow, and the video will still be going. That's nuts. So dual color would be sick. I don't think they're ever gonna print dual color stones though. I don't think they're gonna do it unless they do it as like the very last set of this block. Okay, so going back to the idea of promos. Do you want to hear my pitch for some stuff that I
Yeah,
really...
go ahead. I'd love to hear your idea.
Okay, so what they need to do, or what I wanted them to do, originally what I thought they were going to do, I'm going to get to my point in a second here. I thought they were going to re-release the rulers of Rhea Cluster, but do them in Uber format, like what they did for the promos of Lapis Cluster. That would have been a bad idea because they had already released them.
Yeah.
Right? They already released them as some sort of like weird contrived BS that actually pissed off a lot of people, made some people happy in Rhea Cluster. I was gonna make a whole rant video about that, but I'm like crippling.
We'll get into this one. We'll get into this one.
We'll work it into this one. So my pitch, so that they could avoid doing that sort of thing for this promotional willpower rewards period, was that we release alternate arts of the rulers from Rhea Cluster. Right? So like exactly what they ended up doing, but they did it for Valhalla Cluster instead of doing it for Rhea Cluster. So it's like, okay, you know how Welser, the guy that we just did a deck build for Dayman with, right? Welser, when he first showed up in the second block, he was young. And then Rhea kills him, but he gets like reborn as like this old wizard dude.
Yep.
I was saying, what if they released his ruler card, his J ruler card, but instead of having young him on him, they put the old him.
That'd be really cool.
That would have been really sick. Or they release
okay, go on and then I'll do my.
Well, there was the cool thing about the last set in Rhea Cluster was that there was a really large time progression. I think the whole block like constituted like 15 years of time, so characters changed a lot, right? Yeah. You could have released an alternate art of Ayu, right? Because Ayu's only got one version of her ruler, and she's like young Ayu. But you see her as a resonator later on, where she's like really old, or not old, but she's like older and she's more mature. They could have done that as a promo. Like, so all I'm saying is that they could have released stuff that had to do with the lore, that had to do with the story, and done them as alternate arts of the rulers. And it's, again, I'm getting into like weird tinfoil hat, conspiracy theory, Master Fiji freaking out over here, because they did do that. But they did that for the new rulers instead of the old rulers.
What would be cool, something like Vlad Who's Eternal, bring him back at Divinity.
Oh God, we're getting into this conversation.
We're getting that. You know what? Because for players like me that are just starting and they're like, whatever, it'd be a fun little twist because right now, let's be honest, there's only a certain amount of rulers and only a amount of decks that win GPs.
Yes.
Throw something into the mix. Bring some old rulers, add some Divinity, tweak their, like, what are they called? Their master, whatever they're called. Their spells.
Master rune?
No.
Oh, their God's Art?
Their God's Art. Tweak their God's Art.
Yeah.
Or completely remove it, add Divinity, and throw in.
You know how boxes have in-box promos?
Yeah.
Like you're guaranteed like one card, and they're either like within one of the packages or separate, or they're in their little box with the stones.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, what if they did this? Back in Lapis Cluster, you could send in a certain amount of cards from Grim Cluster to get what was called an Ascended version ruler, which was rulers that had already been rotated.
Yeah.
But they reprinted them, gave them updated costs, updated abilities, and the most important thing at the time, they gave them Energize.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed, yeah.
What if they did that with old rulers, but they place tested, they did their little thing in Japan land, and they figured things out with their magical Japanese magic.
Hey, you know what? They're pretty good at figuring it out.
They're the
fantastic.
the best.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. the Japanese have the best magic.
Phenomenal.
And they do that, and let's say they let's say they take the old Vlad, right? But instead of making it like some sort of like janky, infinite combo, like pay to do 200 gain 200 life shit, they gave it Energize. They balanced it so it has like a decent ability on one side, decent ability on the other, and they give it like Divinity 6.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah,
right?
that would be very cool.
And it would still be balanced in my opinion, because the rulers, it's kind of like Regalia. You weren't around for Regalia, but they were items that could only have certain abilities based on the ruler you were playing.
Yep.
Right? There's a chance to do that too, but Regalia is a better example. These Master Runes are pretty much just chant versions of Regalia if you really think about it, because you can only really use their best components, or actually their components at all, in the specific ruler deck, right? So the argument that I've gotten, especially when I first came up with this idea and I like talked about it on the internet and everybody roasted me for being a total dummy, was that like, oh, if we do this, then these vanilla rulers, as they call them, there would be no reason for anybody to play them, and they just play their like broken old stuff with Divinity and stuff like that. But these guys get Master Runes, dude. These guys get super cards. Like, you don't think I want to run freaking a Mikage, but with like Dark Rosario or Black Rosario or whatever? But guess what? That's a Lucifer only card. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, Master Runes are the bomb, and making new cards as Ascended Rulers wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Wow.
What?
Sorry.
Do you like it?
No, I just realized Loki's lapdog
What?
is in the picture.
Yeah, Loki's creatures in it.
Yeah, I just realized.
I think Loki's creatures in the original one too, actually.
That's a good.
Oh, you're gonna check it out.
Now I'm gonna check it out.
I think he's on one side, and then he's like not on the other side. Like one side has a dragon. You had it right there.
Does not have it.
No, it's not in there?
No, it's not in there. Although, I don't know why, but I like the original Brunhild better, guys. I'm sorry.
I do. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but there's some times where weeabification of stuff, like making things way more anime, is not the way to go.
Okay, what happened to Loki? Like,
yeah,
this
no,
version of Loki, it was cool.
I like this version better.
I like this version better, but when it comes to something like Brunhild, which like,
she looks like classical art. She looks like a Valkyrie.
She looks like a Valkyrie. Like, this is
like
fine. It's a good picture, but flip her over, which is what should happen with most, is phenomenal, right? Like when I flip this one over, it's kind of like, right? Whereas this one, it's just, it doesn't. I'm not sure there's a lot of people.
But I mean, there's gonna be people with personal preferences of all these things all the time. So like, that's just up to personal preference. I like the fact that there's the option.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Here's the QR card. Yeah, so that's what I would do for promos. I would take stuff that makes sense from lore because they always pass time. I'm curious to see how they're gonna pass time in this particular set. Like if it's gonna be like immediately after the end of the set, or if there's gonna be, and that's another thing. We're getting onto another subject. Where's the lore for this set, man? Like, I don't know if you've gotten into reading the lore. It's a lot of fun. It can be.
I started reading it. I haven't gotten that far into it. It's really cool. It's like a freaking novel.
That's what it is, man. Like they could do what they do for. What is it? Warhammer, where they release books and stuff like that. If they really
That's what I was. You freaking read my mind.
I read your mind, man.
You read my mind. FoWco. Just wait. FoWco. If you're listening, this would be a cool way to, again, spread the marketing for this game. Start getting into like graphic novels. You guys already have fantastic art. Why don't you turn into graphic novels?
But the funny thing is that they don't even have to make it a tangible thing. For a little while, and this is just promotional.
You don't have to. Promotional, like, okay, when I was a kid, I would go down to my local, like, comic shop, and whenever there was a new comic book, for example, like when Batman Beyond first came out, they came out with like a little, like a 10, 20 page comic that would introduce the story.
Yep.
Which would be really cool, and then the end of it be like, we're in the internet age. Go to our website, read the full lore.
And what I was gonna say, dude, is that when they were promoting Lapis Cluster, they did little web comics.
Yeah.
You can actually go onto the official website. We can put a link in the description if you guys haven't gone there already. And they used to have, and I think they still have a specific tab for manga.
They do.
And the art was phenomenal. And all they did was like one or two pages just explaining like, hey, by the way, this is what the frozen casket is. Hey, this is what Zero's doing. This is what Lapis is doing. And it was awesome. That's all they needed, 1 or 2 pages. They could easily do that. Like, hey, by the way, it's been like 1,000 years or whatever it was since we've been to Valhalla.
Like, I'm sorry, you guys already have good artists. Like, in all honesty, like we've mentioned this time and time again. You guys already have good artists. Just
give them some money. You know, hold their families hostage. They love that sort of thing.
No, just
that's what makes them work harder.
Just tighten the chain around their necks and just make them do webcomics as well.
Like this isn't
webcomics. That'd be a great idea.
Webcomics, like they don't actually have to put the money into making physical comic books because that's not the business they're in.
Here's free
just make
ideas.
Webcomics.
I will accept my royalty checks if this does happen.
Yeah, we will be watching our mailboxes with great anticipation. Like, we'll just keep pitching you ideas and you keep throwing money at us, okay? We'll be your idea men.
Esports, which is the biggest game right now for esports, is League of Legends. They've started doing this. And I've had this idea for like numerous years and just people don't pay me money to do it. But anyways.
It's because you gotta start patenting this stuff. You gotta start patenting very basic ideas.
This
like
is why I'm
promotion.
telling you, I'm FoWco, I'm expecting like my royalty checks in the mail, like.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten to a point where this is our final QR code. I hope you've enjoyed.
Just wait, we're not done.
Just shut up.
We're not done.
Just shut up.
We're not done. Like, even League of Legends started doing this. They started releasing it's not quite artwork yet.
We wouldn't call it art.
It's no, okay. I'm sorry. I'm using the wrong word.
More
it's
like
quite,
belongs in the trash.
It's not quite comics yet, but they started releasing cool artworks and to get people excited about it. That's what the game like. That's what, and they understand it. That's where their money is. You buy skins, you get more stuff. If FoWco turned their lore into small comics and then afterwards go read it, like how many excited would kids be? Like pre-teens, pre-whatever, how excited would they be? Especially in Japan where manga is like
oh yeah, dude.
Society itself.
It's society itself, dude.
I hate to say it, but it's like it is. Like I don't want to. You've been to Japan. I
it was
really
pretty
haven't.
sick. We should
really
go.
Yeah,
you want to go? You want to go to Japan with me?
I'm not gonna go down that rope. I said yes. I didn't want to go. I had it all planned out, but anyways, that's I hope my wife doesn't watch this video.
No. I'll make sure to be like public, except for this person. I'm sure you can do that. I'm sure that's the thing you can do on YouTube. Oh god, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say a thing.
Japan?
No, it wasn't Japan. It has something to do with promoting stuff?
Comics, we talked about comics.
Comic books. Manga.
You know what?
Okay, shut up.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Argument that I had written to me about how like I like to compare Force of Will to other card games because you need to have a milestone for knowing like, hey, is this card game doing well? Is it growing? Is it losing market?
It has competition and it needs to, like everything.
So the comparison that I made was between it and Magic and Pokemon, and I said, okay, the reason why Pokemon and Magic are so huge, other than they've been around for much longer than FoW, is the idea that they've got phenomenal promotion. And then people are like, oh, I've never seen a Pokemon ad, I've never seen a Magic the Gathering ad, and first thing I said, wrong. I have seen both of those ads.
Yep.
But you're not taking into account two I said the F word. Two frosted
things.
Two frosted, very important aspects. One, Pokemon has an anime.
Agreed.
Okay, Pokemon has an anime which broke off into games, which broke off into freaking
even Vanguard, which is such. I'm sorry. That's such a bad game. I gotta say it.
Oof.
Vanguard.
Man, this has turned into a pretty hateful video. Man, we're just the video series, I should say.
I'm sorry, Vanguard. I'm sorry.
We were this close to starting Vanguard. It was literally we showed up and I was like, yo, Vanguard looks sick. They've got giant robots that look like Gundams.
We managed to attract a player who plays Vanguard. He's a fantastic person. He tried to get me to play Vanguard. I like the cards. I cannot stand to play Excel. It's just such a bad game. It is not for me. I'm sure it's for some people, but it's such a bad game.
The structure of
it. They're tiny. The cards are literally. No, this is too big. The cards are tiny.
Yeah, they're like Yu-Gi-Oh size, I think.
Is Yu-Gi-Oh that small?
Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, so that's the thing I learned the hard way.
Maybe they were bigger when I was a kid. I had tiny little hands.
No. So Yu-Gi-Oh, I think, is the smallest of the major trading card games. It's smaller. Really? Like the cards are made smaller than
when
Magic.
I started playing it when I was.
These are almost the exact size as Magic, I think.
I want to say they are.
If you grab a pack of cards or of sleeves that are specific for Yu-Gi-Oh, and like I tried to switch them in between because I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day. You try to put Magic cards in them, they don't fit. They're about like maybe 1/16 of an inch too small.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so Magic has promotion because it's got like an online game and it's been around forever, and they've probably done some other like anime or webcomic stuff.
Vanguard have done anime. It's not on mainstream on TV because TV is not a thing anymore.
No, nobody watches TV.
However, it is on YouTube.
What are you, like 40?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah. So they've got other ways of promoting it, and I think Force of Will needs kind of like a little boost from something like that. You don't need to make an anime because that's stupidly expensive and stupidly contrived. Make like webcomics, man. Even just like talk to some of your fans.
You know what? Where this game originates and the number of artists and the number of, I'm gonna say artists, the number of artists that are in Japan that legitimately want to get their names out there and turn stuff like, for example, One Punch Man, who started doing it online, started doing graphic novels. Like, they want to get their name out there. Like, are you kidding me? They're gonna want to associate themselves with a company like FoWco. Like, yes, give them the rights for some of their stuff that they create. I'm sorry, it's like, it's give and take. give them the rights, let them create an anime. Make sure you have the seal of approval at the end of the day, as FoWco, as the company. But if you did that, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm serious. If they turn tomorrow and they turn this into an anime and it was Japanese only, I guarantee you, the next day there would be so many fan arts converting it into English, dubbing it into English, doing whatever to convert it into English or Italian. Probably Italian first because the community is much bigger, and then English. But it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It would happen surprisingly fast.
Yeah.
But
that's it, guys. We got no more QR codes. We punked you. You guys have stuck around for another like 3 extra minutes that you've lost and you're never getting back. Congratulations, you loser. You wasted your time.
But wait, there's more.
No, there's no more.
No, just wait. There's no more.
There's no more.
If you guys...
Stop talking.
No, just wait. I want to get the community involved. Hey, this isn't communism.
Hey, listen.
This is democratic country. What the heck?
Democratic. Welcome to the Democratic Republic of Canada.
Democratic Republic of Spot Gaming. But anyways, if you guys have comments, if you guys agree with some of my ideas, if you don't, specifically, like, if you do or don't, just comment on the video below. Like,
if you don't agree with us, fight us IRL on the internet.
Exactly, with words of text.
Yeah, use your words. Fight me with logic.
No, but in our session, like, if you guys want to see an anime, if you guys kind of agree with some of the ideas we've brought forward, I know we've kind of ranted a bit, but
I'm gonna put my money behind webcomic. Like a full-length webcomic would be phenomenal. That could be boosted.
I wish I had the skills I would do it, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's so many, like, I'm gonna take this out there and I could be 100% wrong, but I'm sure Jeff, like, does it for the love of it.
You think Jeff does all the art? He's just got a bunch of different pen names.
No, I'm serious. Like, Jeff as a person who's unfortunately our only, like, connection to FoWco through the internet, does it. He seems like a genuine guy who just does it for the love of the game. Mm-hmm. Yes or no? Like,
yeah,
that's pretty much it. We'll leave it there. Comment below, and FoWco, you just turn this into like that.
Into that. And that being said, this is probably gonna be the last video we post before New Year's. So guys, like,
Happy New Year's! Yeah!
Man, I was gonna do like an earnest, sincere Happy New Year's, and then you had to go weeb on it. Happy New Year's, guys. Like, 2018's been a rough one. Or it's been a great one. I don't know how you guys are doing. I mean, life is good. Life is okay. Happy New Year's. We'll see you guys in the new year.
Only good use of magic.